Okay guys, we're going to replace the bonnet now, the one that we took off earlier. Always better if possible to do this with two people at least. I haven't got that luxury today, so you can see I've got the welding gauntlets just covering the base of the screen. Be so careful, that's the fragile part of the glass, and we can't let those edges of that bonnet dig in there. I've already got the nuts set out ready to go, the ratchet turning in the right direction, set up to go with the right socket on there. It's going to be a little bit of a struggle, but nice and carefully does it and we should be okay. Lift my bonnet up, you can see I've already got some mats set out so I can pop it down gently, help get myself comfortable before I try and tackle this. Ever so carefully lower that into position. And again, careful being the real key phrase here. We don't want any injuries or any damage. So that's nicely offered up. Again, hand tight with the nuts and bolts is all we need. Be really careful not to stress this screen in any way, shape or form. I'm not going to lie, I'm not a fan of this technique, but sometimes needs must, and we all have to learn to adapt and overcome. And there we are, that should be that bonnet nicely held. I would like to get a few turns on there. I don't necessarily like bonnets being allowed too much chance to pivot once it's on. I'll stop making a noise so I can talk. I don't like it to pivot too much whilst it's just being held on like that, so a few turns is always my preferred method. Again, I'll stop making a noise. I just feel happier knowing that it can't pivot too far and stress anything. Okay, I'll move these little trip hazards. And now what we'll do, we'll come down here and we'll try to find any kind of evidence marks, but these look like they're fairly central. We can see a little bit of wriggle room there. Always try to get your bolts where possible to line up with any original markings. It's a good ballpark figure to be in. Same with this side, they look fairly central. Maybe just a little tweak this way. And again, just pinch them. No need to be swinging off the bolts. As I mentioned with the door earlier, you're probably going to find on a modern car with some data, there will be some torque settings available. And again, I just want to see how that's looking as I close it. That's looking dead central, nice and gentle, and away we go. Brilliant. That felt nice. Those gaps look acceptable, if not perfect. Obviously can't check that side till the wing's on. Let's reach my arm in and open that bonnet again. And brilliant, and I'm reasonably happy with that. It should be in the right place. We can always fine tune it when we put the wing on later if need be. So for now, just so I don't forget, I'll just nip these up. Again, that little tip, always turning away from the nice shiny paintwork. If you do slip, you slip into fresh air or onto something soft and squishy like your hand. And it doesn't matter this side, there's no wing to damage. Now here we go. And again, if we were in a workshop, we'd have some paint mixed up still. Hopefully from the job before, we could clean these nuts up, brush them in. When that dries, a little bit of lacquer just to seal them in. Keeps it looking original and helps prevent any corrosion.